My name is David Crow, and I'm one of the pastors here at Grace Bible Church in Fairburn, and also on the web at gracebible.faith. That is gracebible.faith. And here at Grace Bible Church, we're working our way through the book of James. This last Sunday, we finished our work in the 7th major section of James, a text that is regarded as a high point in the letter and that gives the most direct and intensive treatment on the subject of wisdom. That text read as follows: "Who among you is wise and understanding? Let him show by his good conduct his works in the gentleness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your heart, do not be arrogant and so lie against the truth. This wisdom is not coming down from above, but is earthly, natural, demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there is disorder in every evil practice. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruits, without doubting, without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace." James 3:13 through 18. Now, having covered verses 13 and 14 last week, the portion of the text that provides our introduction to wisdom and its counterfeit, we were able to provide a brief review and then pick up with the next section, which was the middle of the three sections for the passage, verses 15 and 16. A section that focused on the counterfeit expression of wisdom, or as we've been calling it throughout our study, the wisdom from below. Now, the reason for this titling of the counterfeit wisdom became especially apparent here as James introduces it with the qualification that it is not a wisdom that is coming down from above, a way of expressing that its origins are not in God. Rather, this wisdom is earthly, natural, and demonic. So with a view to this wisdom being earthly or natural, one might reasonably conclude that this is a strong way of expressing that this wisdom, or the wisdom from below, is in one sense the best that the natural world and an unregenerate man can offer. And we know that this is really quite something, because the Lord has providentially allowed the minds and efforts of even carnal men to produce wonderful things. However, this is not to imply that this wisdom is simply a lesser alternative to the superior wisdom that is sourced in God. Rather, it is an antagonistic expression of wisdom, a conclusion that can be developed by the range of uses that the contrast of the earthly and natural with the heavenly and supernatural, but that's most obvious in the final description, though, namely that this wisdom is demonic or rooted in that which opposes God and the things of God. So in view of the wisdom from below's origin, we're not surprised by its conduct or its outcome. It's expressed itself in unrighteous jealousy and in selfish ambition, both of which are contrary to how James has been expressing the outworking of true wisdom throughout this book, which has an emphatic view to others over self. So naturally, this wisdom's outcome is also contrary to God and His purposes, producing disorder in every evil practice. Effectively, it's the antithesis to the gentle works, peaceable outcome, and righteous fruit that's expressed in true wisdom, the wisdom from above. Then we came to the third and final portion of this text, which gives its attention to the origin, the nature, and the outcome of true wisdom. Here James expresses that true wisdom comes from above, from the Father of lights, who gives all good gifts to include salvation and wisdom. James then goes on to provide a rather full expression of this wisdom by first stating that it is pure. But pure is not simply intended to be the beginning of a list of descriptions, but a foundation for the list, as he effectively states that it is foremost pure. So this wisdom is morally and ethically pure, possessing no faults or blame. It is effectively perfect and holy. Therefore, while others might possess many of the elements that follow wisdom, with this wisdom, true wisdom, wisdom from above, possesses these qualities in their purity, or is expressed in righteous holiness. So the wisdom from above is first and foremost pure, and then it is peaceably pure, considerately pure, submissively pure, pure in its fullness of mercy and good fruits, pure in its absence of doubting, and pure in its lack of hypocrisy. Now, we walked through each of these elements, but even just considering them as listed, and particularly with a view to their being pure in their condition, you can plainly see that they are others-oriented, each of them individually and as a unit working to express the royal law of loving others as oneself, which is framed so much again of the identity of this letter. You can also see why James expresses this wisdom's outcome with a clear relationship between the cultivation of righteous fruits and peace. The wisdom from above, true wisdom, cultivates peace, both between God and man, as well as between man and his fellow man, thereby providing the context for righteousness to thrive. Therefore, James states that the peacemaker sows and subsequently receives the returns of the fruit of righteousness. Now, this finished our time in the 7th major section of the book of James, and this coming Sunday, we're going to begin our work in the 8th major section of the letter, chapter 4, verses 1 through 10. Now, in the meantime, for access to the full message that we've reviewed today, you can go to our website at gracebible.faith. That is gracebible.faith. And here you can access all of our messages in James, as well as other studies in both video and audio formats, which are also available on YouTube and Spotify, both linked through our website. Well, we hope that our study together in James has been and will continue to be a blessing to you as we all pursue his aim that we would be made perfect, complete, and lacking in nothing as we walk in the wisdom from above. Grace and peace to you all.